Let's get into editing our images in Snapseed. So clicking the pencil icon will bring up all of the different options you have for editing your photos. And I'm going to run through all of these. So let's go through starting with Tune Image, that first one. All of these edits will work the same way or in a similar way. By tapping and dragging to the right or left, you can make the adjustment with the slider. By tapping and sliding up or down, you might find other menu options or adjustments within this overall adjustment. So within tune adjustments, you have adjustments for brightness, contrast, saturation, ambiance, highlights, shadows, and warmth. You can also get to those with this adjust button in the bottom and then just clicking the one that you want to edit and then dragging to the left or right. You can also do an auto adjustment for many of these edits by clicking the auto adjust button. It will do its best using the algorithms that it has to make adjustments. You can also see the before and after by tapping or clicking. So let's make a crazy adjustment so you can see with warmth, make it super cool. So clicking or tapping rather, you can see the before after, or just tapping this button in the top right, the before after button. You can also double tap the adjustment name in the top left to reset that specific adjustment. So it's a pretty quick, and it's a little bit, I would say they try to be intuitive, but it's not as intuitive when you're just getting started, but it's really quick and easy and fun to play around with. It's just quick slides, drag up, go to the next option. All right, so let's actually go back, reset all of this, and then we'll go through each of these menu options and show you what's actually happening in the tune adjustments. So starting out with the brightness, dragging to the right will make the entire image brighter, or dragging to the left will make it darker. Let's go to the next one. Contrast will increase the contrast or decrease the contrast. Increasing the contrast makes things, well, more contrasty. The darks become darker, the brights become brighter, and in contrast to that, decreasing contrast will make the image flatter. The darks become brighter. The highlights become darker. Now, this is an overall adjustment. You can kind of do the same thing by doing this to individual parameters. We'll get to that with the highlights and shadows down below. Next, you have saturation. This makes everything more colorful, all the colors more vibrant and saturated, or it takes away all of the color. So dragging saturation to the left all the way is a great way to make this black and white. Let's undo that. Ambiance is similar to contrast, and it adjusts the balance of light in the entire image. So dragging to the right, it actually sort of makes the highlights darker, the darks a little bit brighter. Dragging to the left actually makes things a little bit more contrasty. So it's kind of the opposite, but they do sort of different things. So that's a cool thing to play around with. Then shadows and highlights allow you to adjust the specific part of the image. So highlights will just allow you to adjust the brightness of the highlights of your image. So in this image, you see that in the clouds mostly. Going down to shadows, this will affect mostly just the shadows, which is the city landscape down below. So dragging that to the left will make it darker, to the right, brighter. So if we want to bring out more information in that city down there, dragging to the right is probably good. And then lastly, we have warmth. This is similar to your white balance. There is another option for white balance if you're interested, but dragging to the left will make it bluer, to the right, warmer. So or more yellow or red rather. And so this is a quick way to add that sort of tone to it. But if you're really looking to actually improve and fix your white balance, there is another option for it. So that's your tone adjustments. With any of these, if you're happy with your adjustments, just click the check mark button in the bottom right or the X button to go back, which doesn't save any of the adjustments you've made. I'm going to save those for now and click the check mark. And then in the next lesson, we're going to be looking at cropping, one of the most important things when editing photos.